Steve, guys. I'm just going to run through that unscrew that you did for paper 1 2017. In particular, I'm going to look at question 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 and 13 there now as quickly as I can with you. So this is it here. Let's open it up in Google and Books or something that it'll be easier for me to work with you on. And then hopefully we'll be able to help you out with it. So question 8 is a patterns question, and for 8 parts C, it's looking at finding values for A and B. So this is something I'm actually going to go through with you in the next couple of weeks, looking at Patrunica, Navel and Neoc. Okay, remember, it was one of those things that's on the list to do. But for this, if you have a non-linear pattern, okay, and they don't give you all the details, well, we can try and see what we know. So this is the function. So I'll write it over here, that's clear. A n squared plus bn will tell me what the value is whenever I put in a value for n. So n is the number of the term. So for the first term, n would equal 1. For the second term, n would equal 2, and so on. So let's have a look and see what we can do with that. What do we know? So for the first one, I'm going to put small squares, and we see there's 2 small squares is the answer for the first one. So area of it is perfect. So for stage 1, let's write it here neatly. When n equals 1, the area equals 2. Okay, just going back here, let's see. So what I mean by that is it's just equal to, well, 2 different blocks here. For stage 2, or when n equals 2, for the second term, the area is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The area is 6. So let's try and apply that. So when n equals 2, the area is equal to 6. So let's write that. Let's write that out with what I know. So let's take this here. Let's let n equal to 1 and let the answer equal to 2. Let the area equal to 2. So it'll be a times 1 squared plus b times 1 is equal to 2. Okay, which, let's just tidy that up. It'll be 1 squared is 1, so a plus b times 1 is just b is equal to 2. And then let's see it again. So let's take a times, so when n equals to 2 this time, 2 squared plus b times 2 is equal to, the answer is equal to 6. The area is equal to 6. So let's try and tidy this up. 2 squared here is 4. So that's going to leave me with 4a plus 2b is equal to 6. Well, what you have now is we have a simultaneous equation. So we try and solve that simultaneous equation and solve for a and b. So in solving a simultaneous equation, let's take, I'm going to call this line 1. I'm going to call this line 2. So if I multiply line 1 by minus 2, that would leave me with minus 2b here and 2b here. And when I add those lines together, the b's will cancel out. So line 1 multiplied by minus 2, that's what I'm going to take first. That's going to leave me with minus 2a minus 2b is equal to minus 4 when I multiply each of those terms by minus 2. And write the second line, line 2, as it was. So 4a plus 2b is equal to 6. And now we can add together those 2 lines. So minus 2a plus 4a leaves me at 2a. The b's cancel out like I planned, is equal to 2. So that means that if 2a equals 2, a equals 1. Okay, so that's that done. And if a equals 1, let's just have a quick glance back up at this one up here, just to speed up this whole thing. If A equals 1, well, 1 plus B equals 2, so B must equal 1 as well. Again, you can work that out yourself by subbing back in 1 for A on any line at all and solve it. Okay, so I'm going to park that there now for the moment. I'm going to move on ahead. Look at this D again with us when we look at this chapter properly, but that's just an introduction to solving if you have a non-linear pattern, solving for unknowns. Okay, so that's question 8. Question 9, part C is what I was asked to look at here. So with this one here, you're going to get your lowest common denominator of whatever my denominators are. And in this case, if you look at your denominators, you have 5, you have 3, and you have, well, 1 is the same, minus 1 is the same as minus 1 over 1. So that's just 1. And in this case, lowest common denominator of 5, 3, and 1 would be 15. So I'm going to multiply each term by 15. So it'll be 15 times 2x plus 3 all over 5 minus 15 times 3x minus 6 all over 3 is equal to 15 times minus 1 over 1. And I'm going to try and simplify to cancel out these denominators now. So that was the whole point of multiplying everything by my lowest common denominator, is that it will cancel out these. So as I'm going along, 3 divides into 15 and leaves 5. 5 divides into 15 and leaves 3. And 1 doesn't do anything. So now I can write this as one neat line now, and it will be 3 times. So 3 times everything in here, which would leave me with 6x plus 9 minus 5 times everything there would leave me with minus 15x plus 30 is equal to 15 times minus 1 is just minus 15. At this stage here, I'd expect you to just tidy this up and solve after that. Okay, I'm not going to give you an answer for that there just now. I'm going to try and stay working on to try and get as much new stuff in as I can. You can pause it if you want to finish that there now. Question, where are we now? This won't go off the top. I think this is question 10. It's looking at calculate the tax payable by Howard for the year and his net pay. So let's see, what's the problem with this? So if we look at tax payable, generally I look at it like a big bar like this. Okay, with how much he earns at the top. So in this case here, he's going to be on 42,000, and you can be sure the government is going to try and get as much, or is going to tax a lot of that if they can. So there's a standard rate of 20% and a higher rate of 40%. And for a single person, the annual tax credit is this much here. Okay, and the standard rate cutoff point is 33,800. So going to go up to my 33,800 on that bar. And now let's have a look and see what we can do, how we can, I suppose, represent this graphically. So this lower bit here will be on a certain tax band, and then everything above this will be on another tax band. And in this case here, I think they're 20% and 40%, I think. My iPad is tired after the day as well. Let's have a look. 20% and 40%, perfect. So the first 33,800 is going to be taxed at 20% or 0.2. Okay, so 33,800 multiplied by 0.2 is equal to 6760. Okay, so if you only earn that much, that's how much tax you pay, and that's fine. But he earns more than that, so we're going to have to find how much fits into this top section here. So you take your 42,000 and minus your 33,800 to get the difference between these two, and that's going to get me I think 8,200. We've some visitors here now. Sean, will you go out there now for a minute? So we take my 8,200 here and I multiply that by my higher rate of tax, my 0.4. So the reason we it's at a higher rate is the government decides, well, if you earn over a certain threshold, you know what, maybe you can afford to pay a little more tax on the rest of your earnings. So that higher rate doesn't affect anything at the lower amount, so anything under this 33,800. So the higher rate doesn't affect that at all. It only affects everything from there upwards to the total amount here. So now we're going to add together those two amounts to get his total tax payable. Which is in, I think, 10,040. Okay, it's what I got from that. So that'll be his total tax. His gross tax. So that's how much tax a typical person would have to pay. Now, after that, there's tax credits. Okay, I think we looked at these last year, maybe a little bit. What tax credits are is they're money that the government gives you back if you have certain. So if it feels you shouldn't have to pay for certain things, like if you are a parent, there's a child tax credit or a parent's tax credit, and there's lots of other ones like that as well. Sorry, where am I at here now? So 6. This will be. Where am I at? Hold on there now. Sorry. 0, 4, 7, 6. So 6740 is what he says is tax payable now when we subtract the tax credit. Okay, and I say tax credit is money that the government feels you shouldn't have to pay off your gross tax. Okay, so that'll be that question 10A. I'm going to pause.